presentation by thanking the Mobile Health 2022 for this opportunity to present this research work. This research work is entitled Highlighting the Danger of Water Storage Zones in Baixo Tâmega Valley. It is done by the team that we can see here in this slide. Jorge, Pinto, it's me, Sandra, Pereira, Cristina, Reis, Paula, Braga, and Isabel. We work in different institutions like University of Trás-os-Montes, Alto, Douro, and in the research center of CMADE, Construct, and INEGI. This presentation it is divided in 6 parts. First part is related to the context of this topic. Second part, it will be concerned about the region that we are using as a study case, that is Baixo Tâmega Valley. I will introduce it. After that, the next part is related to some presenting some water storage zones that exist in this region. After we will present some technical aspects that may affect water accidents. After that, in the final part, in the fifth part, we will talk about some mitigating measures, and finally we will present the main conclusion. In terms of context, here I have some ideas that give strength for this topic and for this research. So one of the ideas is that drawing is still being a neglected health issue. Drowning takes place in different parts, such as rivers, lakes, domestic water storage, swimming pools, and coastal waters. Different institutions, such as a Associação para a Promoção da Segurança Infantil, highlights the drowning tragedy worldwide, and also the American Academy of Pediatrics also alerts to the need for measures to prevent drowning. In Europe, for instance, about 5,000 children aged under 19 years old drown. In Portugal, this tragedy also happens, unfortunately, and from 2002 to 2008, about 144 children died by drowning. So it's a tragedy, and that keep happening worldwide and also in the. So here we present a diagram that explains more or less our objective of this research work, that is related with drowning risk and reducing that risk. So starting from the top, Baixo Tâmega Valley region is a region that is located in between Porto City and Douro Valley region. Is a region that is quite interesting, and the main activity is agriculture, and nowadays is getting also a touristic interest, and that touristic activity interest is related with different factors, such as its beauty of the landscape, which is hilly and with a lot of forest, and also a lot of vineyards, and the vineyards are related to green wine, that is a specific type of wine of this region. These factors, as I said, have been attracting tourism activity, and it results of existing a boom of touristic accommodation, building and facilities related with that touristic accommodation type. At the same time, this region is very wet during the winter and spring, and very hot during the summer. So it's a raining region, and that results in existing several types of water reservoirs that can present some threats and some risks. At the same time, the COVID pandemic also changed minds, and people started to be more interested in rural tourism, and so it's another region that may explain the boom of tourism activity that has been happening in this Baixo Tâmega Valley region. So, because of the different type of touristic accommodation, also is typical to build up swimming pool, and that is one type of water reservoir, and therefore the drowning risk is increasing in that way. I can also add in this part that in Portugal there is not yet a regulation of construction of swimming pools, private swimming pools. So, in order to introduce the Baixo Tâmega Valley region, as I said, it is a hilly region with a lot of forest. Here we can see one part of the region in which we have the Tâmega River, that is a river that attract a lot of tourism activities and sport activities. Here on the right side, we can see a vineyard of this region during winter. At the same time, here we can see three examples of tourism accommodation that is under the building construction. Yes, yet they are not yet finished, and all of these three examples, they are rebuilding typical rural buildings that characterize this region. So these buildings, in general, they are built with granite stone. They have also timber floors. They have ceramic tiles, and and the architecture is simple. That is the typical one of these rural areas. So here we can see three examples of tourism accommodation that are almost ready in terms of construction. Um, as I said, this region is quite wet, and therefore it potentiates different types of water storage zones that increase the risk of drown. Here in this slide we can see different examples of this water storage that exist in this region. Starting from this figure, we can see a river, that is the Tâmega River. People have access to the river and therefore is a threat. A small watercourse like brook, there are several also, so these two examples are natural water storage. In terms of artificial or man-built storage, water storage, we can find also several river beach, watering hole, that are used for watering the fields, agricultural fields. We can find private swimming pools. Also, is quite often to find washing tanks. Some fountains also is possible to find in this region, and also wheel is quite typical in this type of region because it's one way of getting water for domestic usage. So all these examples of water storage, they are possible risk zones for occurring drowning. Therefore, we have to take some care and some consideration in terms of safety measures. Um, in the part of technical aspect that may affect water accidents, we start for showing or presenting some types of water accident consequences, such as the drowning, that is the more worse scenario. We can also have fracture of human limb, contracting a disease by water contamination, stopping congestion, falls, among other types of water accidents. In terms of technical aspects that can influence the risk of water accidents, we also can have several ones, such as water flow, depth of the water, accessibility to the water reservoir, unpredictability, quality of water, temperature of water, level of water surface, among other technical aspects. In terms of mitigating measures, we can divide into domains: natural water storage and artificial water storage. In terms of water storage, some mitigation measures is displaying information advising the danger of the water in critical points. Another mitigating is confining, when possible, the access to other areas of the natural water storage. In terms of artificial water storage and focusing on the main ones, in terms of river beach, we can control water flow or water depth by building dams or floodgates. In terms of swimming pools that are the scenario probably more potential for drowning, we can also have different mitigations measures, such as controlling the water depth by considering different floors with different levels, assuring a proper accessibilities that includes building fences to reduce the difficult access of the swimming pool, having intelligent control devices, increasing the distance, using rock pavement, using different levels, among other possibilities. Uh, Also, we may avoid unusual geometries, shapes, unexpected objects or devices that may exist under the water level of the reservoir. Also, another important mitigating is guaranteeing the good quality of the water and also having proper temperature of the water. In terms of traditional construction, we can see here in this slide some examples of mitigating drowning possibility scenarios. These traditional ways is, for example, using a fence with eye sufficient to avoid a person to get in the water. So here we see one example of the fountain that is this fence that give this protection and also the safety measure. In this case, we have a swimming pool, and surrounding the swimming pool, we have fences. In this case, is a typical stone fence. We have a typical gate in steel, and also flower beds that difficulty the access to the swimming pool for one children or kid, for example. In this case, also having increasing the distance from the house to the swimming pool, or having a stair, or having a rock pavement like a stone pavement are some measures that can give, let's say, help to find out if a kid is going or reaching the swimming pool. Additionally, we can also raising if it is possible to raise the water level. Also, it difficult the access to the reservoir. Having a proper stair also helps to avoid the drowning. In this case, for example, we see here the stair that give the access to the swimming pool, or using a proper covering to cover the water when it's not being used. Uh, In parallel with these traditional measures, we can have artificial and high-tech and digital ways and solutions that have been proposed recently in order to deal with this problem. So there are some researchers that already propose intelligent cameras, novel 5G models, uh, different types of devices, developed software, specific softwares, and also real-time video surveillance systems based on using artificial intelligence, machine learning techniques, and all these solutions, quite recent and quite modern, they can monitor the swimming pool, and can give signal, or give information to lifeguards or to the parents of caring of kids in order to avoid drowning scenario. So we understand that using intelligent systems can control and to actuate in this dangerous situation, and can be part of the solution of this worldwide problem that is drawn. Therefore, we can figure out that at this stage there is a lot of scientific work that can be done, and that is necessary to be done in order to solve and to mitigate this huge problem of dead concerning water reservoirs. So finally, in terms of conclusions, so in this presentation, we present some types of water storage that exist in this Baixo Tâmega Valley. We also introduce some consequence of accidents related with water reservoirs, and also present some technical aspects. We shown some traditional mitigating measures concerning the water storage zone types in this region. We also highlighted that there is not yet proper legislation and code to deal with this problem, and also we suggest, and we suggest and recommend that intelligent systems can give a huge, a big, important contribution with traditional mitigation solutions to solve this problem. So here we can see some references of these new high tech. And so thank you very much for your attention.